Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning in to an amazing episode of Rockn Talkn UK. We're co-hosting with the amazing Jackie Chambers of Girls School in Siberia, my very, 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 very good friend. I've literally dubbed her an angel of metal. And we're going to be talking to some other angels that I know that have just been heroes to my heart all along. And it's such an incredible episode, I promise you, to hear exactly how they're all interwoven together in the universe by themselves, through me, around me, and now because of me, they're all here, right here, talking to you. And I'm so very, very humbled and so very honored. Thanks so much to my entire Rockn Talkn family of co-hosts, including Lips, all the others. And thank you so very, very much, too, for my new co-host, Ben, for joining on this one, as you have so many. Really hope you like them. Really hope you spread them around, share them. And this one is really, really awesome, I promise. Kelly B, Pop Pixie. Sit back, grab your bongs, your coffee, your glass of wine, whatever it is, your joint, roll them big, and just enjoy a great episode with us. And know that you're loved for it. Kelly B. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello?
Hello, everybody.
Can you see me?
Hey.
I can see.
Howdy.
Ah, Jackie, I can't see anybody. I can
just
hear.
Coming up now. I think I should be just about turned up. Yeah, there we go.
How are
Hello.
you?
Hi. Gallery up there and see you all.
Well, I think, Joe, you need to find your camera. This is always about 5 minutes of the first of the show, but
it's like, where's the mute? Where's the unmute?
I know, right? So, welcome, Mick. This is Mick Michaels of Corners of Sanctuary. A really long time supporter. Him and his band have done so much for me, and I'm so thankful. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
I don't know. Maybe I got a big echo here. Joe is a Pure Steel Brotherhood. Why don't you introduce yourself, Joe, and say hello, because I'm gonna have a sip of coffee.
Hey, I'm Joe Sims. I play lead guitar for Axmaster, and boy, this is not my time of day.
No. International.
Oh, it's early for you guys. Yeah, it's early. What time is it there?
Well, it's early for me. It's noon.
It's noon. See, it's 5 o'clock at night here in the UK, so it's like the sun's going down. We finally got the orange thing in the sky in Britain, so t-shirts are out. Yay! Finally. Still got a hoodie on there.
That's about when I start getting myself together is about 5.
What time zone are you in, Mick? Where are you?
I'm Eastern. It's 12 noon here.
Yeah, it's 12. Yeah, it's early. It's so hard, the international time zones. You know, I've been trying to get people in South Africa, New Zealand, Germany, Italy. You know, it's just mental. And I'm one person, and I'm not.
But it's funny. 2 weeks ago, when we were supposed to be on, I'm sat there thinking, oh, I've got an hour yet. You didn't tell me that your clocks had gone forward 2 weeks before ours did.
Not even
no clue. Who knew? Who knew that, really?
I never understood that, you know, that some people are the future. Some people are people are like, no, Kelly. I'm like, yes, they are.
It's like New Year's Eve, isn't it? Watching New Year's Eve going.
I was talking to somebody from Australia the other day asking what time it was. It's like crap. It's 16 hours, something like that.
It's when you're on tour, isn't it, Joe? You're on tour and you're like, I'll just ring home. And it's like, you know, it's 2 a.m. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
You know, it's funny. At about 3 o'clock in the morning, when I might be just tired enough to go to sleep, all the people in Europe are like, good morning. I'm like, oh, there goes sleep.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
This is Ben Cable. This is my other co-host from the US doing lots of great stuff with me. This is Jackie Chambers.
Hey.
Hey, Jackie. How
you doing? Good, you?
Excellent.
We're just talking time zones here.
Say Boston.
Boston.
Boston. I can't have it, yeah.
Boston. In Leeds, that'd be Boston.
Boston.
Yorkshire.
You guys, you don't want to come down and go to school in Harvard?
Hiding.
Grab my cars, go to the parking garage,
We
go to
got
Fenway
snacks.
Park.
There's a great show out there where a guy from Canada goes to America and asks them about, makes fun of them basically to their face about how little they know about Canada. So he'll go to Harvard or he'll go to the, White House, and he'll pick politicians and go, our president, we have a prime minister, Tim Hortons, right? Just allowed us to use the 24-hour clock. What do you think of that? And we were like, congratulations, Canada, on getting the 24-hour.
You've only been using it 40 years.
And they're just so funny, how little people know about Canada. But
same for America though. When I first went over there, I lived in Long Beach for a little while, and I was living with my friend there, and I went to put the kettle on. And where's your kettle? And she goes, it's there, and pointing to this thing you put on a stove. I'm going, what? Where's your kettle? She goes, that is the kettle. I'm going, but don't you have electric kettles? She goes, what's an electric kettle? I go, are you kidding? Are you still in the Stone Age, you guys? And then I introduced her to an electric kettle. We found one in Target, or Target, as you call it, Target. And we got one, and she like, oh, that's it. All her friends wanted one. They were like, mental.
I have never heard Target be called Target, but I'm never calling it anything else now.
I realized that was the joke shop when I lived there. I didn't, because I used to love going to Target, and I was saying, I'm going to call it Target because it's the posh shop.
The posh shop, yes. And I think it's so funny that America, and I don't mean to make fun of America, but I mean I lived there for 5 years.
But let's anyway.
Let's do it anyways. They are so unaware of British influence. Like I'm wearing a Doctor Who shirt, and people don't know who Doctor Who is.
What?
They don't know who Stephen Fry is. They don't know who. I mean. It blows my mind. Not only with film and the TV, which is exceptional, because they just don't have it on Netflix there, right? Nobody's seen AFAB.
No. I thought AFAB was...
I got introduced to British culture when I was a kid through Benny Hill.
There you go. Okay, that might be the one perverted thing
You're one of us.
Do accept. Yes, I don't know. I snuck downstairs as a little kid to watch Benny Hill late at night against the rule. Yeah,
but I didn't know anybody because it was all about footballers and baseball players. I had no clue what they were talking about. All these celebrities, and they're like, "Oh, he's mega." I'm like, "Never heard of him." Sorry.
So have any of you guys played
Benny Hill?
Was it?
Yeah. Okay. I will tell you a funny story about the 4th of July when I was in West Virginia, which my new friend seems to say whenever I say when I was in West Virginia, he's like, that's a song. Like this, and it is. If you've been there, it's a weird place. But I said what to a redneck, I go, what's the 4th of July about? And he goes, oh, well, it's hot dog and hamburger and firecracker day. I'm like, yeah, I know. But why? And he goes, I don't know. It's hot dog and firecracker. I'm like, oh man. And they're celebrating their separation from England, right? And I'm thinking, and then we talked a little bit about that. And he goes, well, what if the Queen tries to come take our guns? She probably wouldn't.
No, don't think she can be bothered anymore.
No, she's got tea to drink, She's
got too many corgis to look out.
Have any of you guys played in England? And if so, where?
No. I haven't even been to England, actually.
No. Well, really, you're not missing much right now.
Okay, so then, Jackie, have you ever played in Philly, Boston, or where are you again, Joe?
Yeah, we've done America 2 or 3 times, I think. Yeah, we've been across. We start West Coast, we go to Canada, come back down, go up to Canada. It's like we go across and end up in somewhere over in New York or somewhere before we go home. It's usually the case. We end up either New York to go home or other way. We do it from east to west. Yeah, it's cool. I can't ever remember where I played though. It's like when you're on tour, you just about remember the city sometimes, let alone the place you played.
What I love doing is introducing my friends to Lips, and then they go, "We've opened for you. We've played with you," and make that happen on our show, and it's one of my favorite moments. And look at that wall behind him of his accomplishments there.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
We played. We had an opportunity. We were doing a tour in the UK when the pandemic hit. Our show was with Jax and her band. We were in Northampton, something like that. So
Northampton. Oh my goodness.
And we played another place too. I don't remember exactly where we played, but that
was a weird tour, wasn't it?
We got 2 weeks off where they canceled our flight and put a
You guys played together?
Yeah. It was last January or February, probably February, was it? Just before, yeah, it's probably February, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's February. It was mad because it's a small tour, but it was like the only thing we could do because of the pandemic, and like we hadn't played the UK for so long, so it's kind of nice to get out and do the UK a little bit, you know. We're gonna do it again, apparently.
How do I do that? How do I just, find the music and then somehow the hearts are connected?
Already.
There's 6 degrees somehow, and it's such a beautiful thing. Oh my God.
It's always 6 degrees, so I'm sure we're all connected some way.
So when I say you guys will love each other's music, there's no doubt about that, right?
Yeah, we love music, right? We all love music.
We played with Axmaster. I think it was.
Oh my God!
2017. We played at
that takeover. I can't remember right now.
What band are you with again?
Corners of Sanctuary.
We've done quite a few, though, haven't we, Mick? You're doing some more with us, aren't you, Mick?
Oh my God!
What's that?
Because obviously, aren't you signed with Andy now?
Yeah, I'm working with Andy.
Oh,
yeah.
that is King Billy's, wasn't it? The last one we did together.
Wait.
That's it. Yeah.
Are you not with RFL anymore?
No, I'm with RFL. No, we signed with actually while we were in the UK, we were connecting with Andy, who works with Jax and her band, and
Cyteria, that is. Yeah.
Okay. RFL, Pure Steel, and now your label are the 3 that I'm trying to connect. How is this not, nobody listens to me, but maybe they'll listen to you guys, right? I think that what an amazing combination, right? That's this is going on. I just edited an episode of my favorite clips. This has to be one. This is
we've all connected. I bet we've all played somewhere at the same festival. What are you betting we've been on at the same festival? Somewhere. Probably somewhere, right?
You're right. Yeah, it's amazing with so many bands out there, so many musicians, you still have that degree of separation where if you don't know somebody directly, you know someone who definitely knows somebody else.
Look at me knowing people.
Great.
Yeah, especially if you network and things like that, you do, work online with the band.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people between that and festivals.
I think what's special is that I make a connection with each person individually. I find their music, I pull it, I get a connection to it in a weird sort of way, and this is really wonderful. So,
did you get stuck then, Mick, when you try to get home? Weren't you trying to get back to America?
Yeah.
Weren't you trying to get back home on that last gig?
Yeah, because we didn't have our flight was canceled the day before. It took us.
That's right. Yeah.
Took us 27 hours to find the last flight guaranteed out of the UK. So we took it.
Yeah. Oh, I remember because you had to get out, didn't you?
You're lucky you weren't stranded.
Yeah.
We had till
especially in Northampton.
morning until they closed the gates, so to speak, and then we weren't going to be allowed back in. So
that was expensive, wasn't it, to come over to do that? You had to pay for that yourself as well, didn't you? I remember.
Yeah. Wow. And that's what I mean.
You off coming back?
No, we really are hoping to. I mean, actually, when this is all over, I think the UK is the first place we're going.
Mm.
Can I go?
You went down well here. I remember you went down really well. It's good. Good band.
Wow. Yes. And I will share with you their wonderful full concert submission to my benefit show, which we can reuse. We're gonna try and get stuff going. I know Jackie donated to the Christmas concert, and I'd love to invite Axmaster to do anything they can, or donate a song, or just join maybe a little group event with you guys and Sex and Witchcraft, which is Ben's band, as a little performance, because I think this is just too cool. Too cool.
Yeah, Pure Steel is usually really cool about, anytime we wanted to be on a compilation or anything like that, to donate a song. We can talk about it. I'm working on the new album now. So, we've got like 12, 13 new songs.
Pure Steel is amazing. Pure Steel is, I don't know, they have 130 bands. I'm trying to get through meeting them all. I mean, a lot. And it's all very similar metal. It's all very tastefully chosen, I will say that. And whoever's doing it has a very good ear for what they like. And I totally agree with every one of their pulls, right? Bobby Liebling's on there, Bob Mitchell, I'm really good friends with. He supported me so much along the way. Trauma with Greg Christian, he was hoping to make it today but couldn't. Just so many, like band after band, Axmaster, Sleep Lord, Hounds of Hasselvander, Aska, Banshee, Clovenhoof. I mean, they're all on here. So they will all be filtering through everything, and I hope the three labels hear us a little bit, right?
What is the biggest label in Canada? And what's the biggest label in Canada for rock or metal? Don't know. It's hard. I used to know them all. It's just like they've all amalgamated and they're like subsidiaries of master big labels.
All the big ones are kind of gone, and they're just little independent things that will only put up digital content. Nobody will pay you for anything.
That's
and
it. Yeah, it's the same in Britain. Have you? So you've all got that problem. Have you got that in America as well, in New York? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's become more worldwide thing where it's just people are generally doing their albums themselves and just looking for distribution deals.
And that's and there's nobody's getting any money to create. Nobody's getting any money up front. Nobody's getting money to tour. You have to do your own merchandise. You have to do. It's just mental. It's just mental how far backwards we've come. But I think it's because we've lost the revenue of record sales and our record stores and our they have no money to give you. It's not like they don't want to, because
well, we used to make about £1 off an album years back. They sell for a tenner, and the band would make £1 each. Now it's like not 1%, isn't it? Between 4. So it's like when you add it up, it's just like a joke. I think somebody put online somewhere on Facebook, it takes 20,000 downloads to make up the money for you buying a t-shirt on a merch stand. So say £20 for a t-shirt, you would have to buy like 20,000, probably more downloads for the equivalent of one t-shirt bought on a merch stand for a band these days, which is crazy, isn't it? When you think, really, we're supposed to be rock stars and making all this money. Hello, who is?
Nobody. I remember my first interview with a really big star. I think it was Thomas Vikstrom, and he's like, "We got to pay the rent." I'm like, "Wait, what? You don't have a house even?" Or he's like, "No, I moved," and I was like, I have a day job. And I'm like, oh my God, rock stars have day jobs. It's so weird.
It's getting hard. Obviously, break the COVID now, people can't work.
Can't work.
Say sorry, Joe.
I was saying that's happening more and more and more. I mean, you just don't make enough.
Yeah.
You got to supplement your income somehow. Yeah. And then like our bass player, he's got the right thing. He works from home. So he can go on tour and he can still do his job anywhere where there's Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing to look for.
Oh, here's another Pure Steel label guy coming in late. This is Ron Toth, the Last Pharaoh. Very humble guy. Last Pharaoh, some great stuff. They've donated again and again and again. So
we played with Last Pharaoh.
Who's played with Last Pharaoh?
We have.
You have, yeah.
I don't know.
Hi, Ron.
Come on, Ron, find your video button.
Does everybody remember their last show before I mean, it sounds like you guys were together, but I was just curious. That was kind of a good question. The last show you remember before the
It literally was the last show, wasn't it? That one we make, with Corners. Yeah, definitely, because we had to get back into our little cities and you had to get home to America. So that was kind of pushing it. We were pushing it, weren't we, really, doing that last gig? I think there were only about, 30 people there. There weren't that many there, but because people had bought tickets but didn't come.
Right.
So, it's like, it wasn't nobody's fault. I mean, the night before was worse because people had died in that city that day. So they sold all these tickets and they weren't there because people were frightened, the fear thing, the media giving all the fear stuff out, and they just stayed away. So yeah, it's a difficult one. I think now more people will go. I'm hoping when all this lifts a little and they all start gigging, I think we're allowed to gig here June onwards. I think people will be really enthusiastic to come along to live music because they've really missed it.
Yeah. The guy who's playing drums on our album right now is doing a little touring with Ripper Owens, and they had a sneaker show at
Hi, Ron.
a decent club, not too far. And I guess it's sold out like that.
Yeah. Hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron. This is Ron of Last Sparrow. Thanks so much for joining. I just we just had an amazing experience talking about record labels, who we've all worked with, and Jackie, right before the pandemic, was on a gig with Mick from Corners of Sanctuary, which is off RFL. Who's I don't know, Axmaster is here and has played again, which I mean, I can't even talk. You guys,
we're just discussing the poor state of record companies right now and why bother. And
does anybody remember Azra Records out of LA?
Which records?
Azra, AZRA. They did. That was our first label back in '85.
Was it a major? A major?
No. But they had some really good bands. They had like 4 subsidiary labels, Ironworks and Metal Storm. And they had Jag Panzer, Death Angel.
Okay, but what's the difference between being on a record label like that and being on the record label you're like now? Did you find the support was different?
Azra was weird. The support was kind of the same as far as like, well, the contracts were way different. We got, I would say that the contract with Pure Steel was better.
Yeah,
Definitely
I tried to actually sign Anvil, do a back catalog and a thing with me to Pure Steel, and Lips is all over it. He was so happy, and I don't know what happened. They had one call with Rob, and I didn't. He went, give me the money, right? I go, how much money do you got? And they're like, and I don't know where it went, because I think he's stuck in the mindset. We have almost 20 albums. We have a career. We have a movie. We're established. We deserve 10,000. I don't know, whatever he wanted up front to do something. And yeah, they do, right? But
it's hard, isn't it? Because we're discussing that now with Silver Lining for Girls' School. And it's just like, they just don't want to give us money. I mean, a few years ago, we were getting like 20 odd grand, to go do an album. It's like, woo, with Chris Tangarides, yay. And it's like, now it's like, we're trying to squeeze a few grand out of them just to cover the costs. And it's crazy. It's like, wow, it's getting tight. It's getting tight.
Costs are going up because of COVID restrictions, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you have some amazing people on your label. They control some pretty incredible music. Motorhead just keeps coming back around and around.
Alice Cooper's on the label now. Alice Cooper's on Silver Lining, obviously Saxon.
Saxon. It's an incredible label. So
it's brilliant.
If we mixed Pure Steel and Silver Lining and RFL, I can't tell you what a collaboration it'd be.
But if they can't find the money, who can? Do you know what I mean? It's this big labels like this. It's that's kind of worrying about the industry, isn't it? Really.
No, You were talking about about your deal in '85. What do you see to say the biggest difference between a record deal, working with a label in 1985, and what it's like to work today?
Oh no, that would have been funny.
Oh, what a cutie. Hi. Hi, little one. I see you peeking out there. I will say this, if we don't ask Ron a direct question, he's so humble and quiet, he will not break into the conversation.
Go for it, Ron. Tell us who you're signed to.
Oh, we're signed to Pure Steel Records.
Is that, are you America or Canada?
American. Yeah,
Right.
They're really good. We're working on our second album now as well.
Yeah.
The first album was The Mantle of Spiders, and it did really well. And then we're working on the newest one. Endless Winter is the next album.
Oh, great.
That's a good title. It felt like that, didn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, it was. It is.
And screw you all, because you're not in Canada. Because like you didn't feel that. You didn't feel that. And I'm in a basement apartment. But I mean, Pure Steel, Bob Mitchell introduced me to everybody through Pure Steel, and it just got to be this amazing circle. And we were talking about just the 6 degrees. I mean, it's so incredible. Where have you ever played over in England, Ron?
Oh no, I haven't. I'd love to though.
It's not as big, not as good as it used to be, I must admit. When people say they're coming over here now, I'm like, what? Why? It's like, because the circuit, like, you know, the circuit, you all like, everybody has a circuit, don't they, in their countries? Yeah. And it used to be really exciting, and all those places are gone. They've been knocked down. The Weatherspoon pubs, and you know, there are all these terrible places, and the car parks and train stations, and all the really
People want to go to Europe. They do.
I heard that Eastern Europe, I heard is really good right now, though.
Yeah, Eastern Europe. It's getting, well, obviously for British people now, we've gone through, besides COVID, we are going through Brexit, this little elephant in the room called Brexit, which means from now on, when we come to America, it costs us about £6,000 to get visas before we'd even started, which is crazy. Yeah. But we do, because big country, we gotta go.
Yeah, I heard that the U.S. actually raised the price for that not too long ago.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah. It's like $10,000 a person, all your employees. This is why Canadian bands can't break into the U.S. or into America, because it's $10,000 for your merch guy, for your tour manager, for your bus driver, for your, oh my good God. And they're like, well, we'll just hire an American band. Why would we do that?
That's what people are doing. That's the thing, that now we're out of Brexit, so we're out of the European Union as Brits. So when we go to Spain, Italy, France, we now have to get visas for the places we used to just jump on a ferry and go to. Now we need visas, so it's going to cost us in each country until we basically got sold down the river when they signed Brexit deal. None of us voted for it, so I don't know who did, but it's like we sold down the river, so we're not going to get out of Britain for years until it's sorted out.
You just broke my heart. I mean, I really feel like the whole industry is falling when Live Nation goes under. You know, when money like that is gone, when people how are we going to recover?
Why? It was like Live Nation? Are they not going under, are they?
Yeah.
Are they? Yeah. I've not heard. Oh, really? Oh, that's
rumors of bankruptcy. Yeah. I mean,
wow.
Well, after COVID knocked so many places and businesses out.
Oh, yeah.
Venues too.
Entertainment industry. The entertainment industry was hit so hard because they don't see people. You know, they generally they're not considered relevant. You know,
valuable working.
Wait till you hear this. In Britain, one of our politicians went on national TV on the news and said, "Oh, musicians are going to have to retrain. Maybe they should learn a second trade, like working in care homes." You could hear the collective sigh and swearing at the TV. Is she serious?
I just heard a metal version of Night Nurse in my head, and I'm picturing all these decrepit rock stars taking.
Can you imagine? I mean, all of us, every single musician, like national theatre musicians, national, musicians. It's like all retrained to be in care homes and things. It's like, are you serious, lady?
Work at A&W, I guess, or something, a fast food chain. I mean, because like, what else? I mean, right from infancy, right from the womb, you guys are created. And I don't think you can do anything else.
What am I going to do now? Work in a bank? It's a bit like Spinal Tap, isn't it? Oh, work in a shoe shop. What's the wages like? You know what I mean?
Oh, golf.
Let's just say deliver food. You know, I mean, I think whatever you guys chose to do, if you couldn't do music, I would see you all in a humble line of work where you're helping people, where you're doing something and making a change. You know, if you had to stop making music, you know, and what Ben said is so relevant, that it is people like you that help us through these moments, that when we have a healing moment, we throw a big concert, when you guys make music that changes the world, changes perceptions, goes through wars, hard times, whatever. The musician and the artist are the most valuable souls on the fucking planet.
Exactly.
And
You
they're
have to look at the war, and you got your Vera Lynn's, and everybody comes out, and that's what everybody talks about when you go back to the war. They go, and Vera Lynn, we'll meet again, and all this. It's like people turn to music, don't they? They've all turned back. Luckily for us, they're all turning back to the 80s. So they're all buying 80s music, which is kind of cool. Yeah, the rest are going a bit better.
I know, I love it.
And we live in such an amazing time, because there was never a time in history, I mean, in a blink of an eye, we're able to basically, you know, have studios like that right in our home. Everybody's able to, with low money, get their music on, you know, whatever, digital tape, what doesn't even matter, but you're able to record your music, and it's going to be there for generations to come. Unlike any time
I wondered when we got done with Azra, which, by the way, Ron, did you ask me how it was different dealing with a label now and in '85?
Oh, it's me, Ben. I was asking you the difference between now and then. Yeah.
Azra was so weird. Dave Richards was the head of Azra, and I'm sorry, they were a complete ripoff. I mean, I'll always thank them, because they got us into the international scene, and you know, without having signed with them, we wouldn't Master not be anything other than a local band.
I'm not sure what's causing this lag right now, if it's me.
So at least 3 that we didn't even we didn't even know existed until the internet. And I actually fronted the guy, because he was selling a bunch of them on eBay, because the company went under a long time ago. And he's like, "Oh, let me send you a couple free copies." Oh yeah, that makes up for everything, Dave.
Welcome to the girls' school. We had 43 years ago, when the band first signed the deal. It was like, I mean, everybody was 17, 18, 19, 20. Nobody knew what they were doing. So the manager back then, Doug Smith, signed it for them. It's like deed of attorney. And Girls' School own nothing. Wow. We own nothing. So we see all these compilations going out all the time. We don't get a penny for them. And we went to Brazil once, and somebody had this album to sign, you know, when they bring this album to sign. And it was an album I was on, Believe. And there were a picture with it. And it's somebody had drawn the picture, and it don't look anything like any of us. It's almost, we just couldn't stop laughing. We were passing the picture around, going, "Who's this? Who's this?" You just get all these fakes.
The good thing about this contract we signed back then was, after I believe it was 5 years, all the rights reverted back to us.
Yes, I wanted to say that John Gallagher made a point that after 40 years, 40 years, you can legally get all your stuff back. And I don't know.
Ours is about to write off our debt, apparently.
And I hope to God it all brings the blessings back to you, because this is something I hear time and time again. And with the labels I'm dealing with and one I might want to start. These are things I don't want to do to the artist. How do we keep it so that both make money to be able to pay you to make the next record, right? And also you keep what you own. You know, is anybody familiar with Studio One?
Yeah.
With the name, yeah.
It's a record label that all the music is shareable. Nobody owns it. Everybody uses it. Everybody in reggae, every reggae beat comes from Studio One and has, and it just trickles through.
There's another Studio One. I was thinking something different.
Okay.
But no, we got
and it
lucky
started in the 60s, and I'm wondering, like, how are they able to put out so much music to the world for free? How did they do it? Like, maybe, you know, there's nobody owns it, nobody should. I don't know.
It's probably a pet project by somebody who has a shitload of money.
Sounds
well,
like
I mean, if I wish that, and I know this is something my metal friends hate me for, is my love of reggae, but it all influences the next. Research Studio One, and I mean, it is incredible how much music is out there in the world because of them, and this sharing and this open use of stuff, and you know, people like Trent Reznor or people like artists that just say, use my music, make a mix. I'd really love to hear what you made of it. You know, this wonderful being able to share and join and use. The labels make it very difficult to do that. You know, like you have to get permission from everybody, and then the label, you can't just collaborate.
Yeah, I'm filling out your PPL forms with that on. It's just when you've collaborated or you're using the loop, that's just difficult.
It makes it so difficult. I mean, and I think I have no idea what the answers are, but I hope to God, talking to wonderful people like you, that we come up with some good answers, you know, and we help them, help you, help us, help the world.
We've got 4 minutes to save the industry. How do we do it?
Well, the main problem, the main problem comes in, other than like recording, you know, I mean, back in the day, after we left Azra, we did an album that just came out on cassette that we had the money for the studio, and the recording sounds like garbage, but it still got great reviews. And I always wondered what would have happened if, you know, I was able to back then record stuff at home like I can now. Right. And if that would have came out halfway decent, how far that would have taken us, because everybody loved it and they still do.
Yeah.
But the recording was garbage.
We have 3 minutes. We have 3 minutes.
We did literally, we went in a hit and run because it was one of our biggest albums. It went gold in Canada. Yeah. And of course, we don't own a single song. So that got put on so many movies. We never made a penny from it, you know, apart from the sales. So we went in and re-recorded it. We call it Hit and Run Revisited, so that we got some kind of, some kind of power over it. It's just crazy, the things you have to do. It's so hard re-recording the classic album, though, you know, because obviously it was Kelly who was on the original.
And I'm trying so hard to get contracts, to get syndication, to do something with this, to get some label to pay attention to the music, to the hearts, to the people that are on here, you know, to really pull together and do something. And it's been probably the hardest thing I've ever done. This is the easy part, is talking to all of you. I want to give Mick and I want to give Ron a chance to say something. Mick, do you have any thoughts that you'd like to leave us with?
Well, I mean, I think that the industry today is the artist. I mean, we can't rely on record companies. I mean, our first deal that we got in '86 or '87 was with a Philly company called First Time Records. They put some money up. They did some development and stuff like that, which actually got us a development deal with a bigger label by '91. But all that stuff we had to pay back. I mean,
recoup.
A lot of people forget that, like, no one gave you the money. They
loaned it to you. Yeah.
You have to pay back. I mean,
that word recoupable.
But
there's so many bands that had like hits and stuff like that wound up with nothing. Yeah. So I think, is it tougher? Yeah. I mean, are you self-sufficient? Yeah, I think so. And I think that's probably what a lot of artists need. They need that wake-up call to kind of like get back in the trench and stop depending on other people. At least that's my opinion. Because I mean, I did a little bit in the 80s. I did some throughout the 90s. We had a development deal that was going real well. And then, you know, like just like with everybody else,
Here's
grunge alternative hit, and we were let go because there was
don't
we
get
didn't need it anymore.
started
So,
on grunge. I'm in
We
an
got about
argument. I'm
30
not
seconds
allowed,
left.
I'm not allowed to join the Nirvana cult, but I
But,
mean,
yeah, I think that, you know, I mean, is it harder in a sense? Yeah, maybe.
yes.
But like you said, we can now keep all our rights. We don't have to sign stuff over. There's not a waiting period. Just about 5 years ago, there was some stuff that we were actually was released back to us from 91. We couldn't do anything with, but we had gotten they had let it go and said, now you guys can do whatever. So I don't know.
1 minute, guys. Ron, do you want to say anything at all?
Well, I just think that bands should, I guess, have to rely a lot on merchandising and stuff to make money, and
Art.
hopefully sell enough tickets for people to come to the shows and stuff like that.
Shameless,
Kind of
shameless.
Support your artists. Go to the shows, support live music, support us
Exactly.
and our work, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. I love you all.
Thank you, guys.
For now.
Okay, thanks.
Enjoy your day. Mine's nearly over. Enjoy yours.
All right. Bye now, guys.
Take care, guys.
Awesome.
Meeting all of you guys, what I have, and good seeing you again, Jackie.
You
Mick,
too.
seeing
Yeah,
you
yeah.
again next week.
See you over here, Mick.
Thank you, Joe. Thank
Ellie,
you,
I'll see
everybody.
you.
Bye.
talk to you soon.
Bye. We'll talk today.
Bye.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If you'd like to be on an episode of Rockn' Talkn' Talkin', please feel free to reach out. Here's how to get a hold of us. Thanks so much. Love you all. Kelly V. Pop Pixie.